What's up, y'all? Good Monday. Good to see y'all. Listen, y'all. If y'all don't know, this is TFG Tonight, and I'm your host, Mr. Haynes. And this is the best morning show that you can watch at night. Y'all listen, that's Devin, that's Lee, and that's Kenny.
I'm trying to be nice.
Black said we got two Americans.
Say to my brother Black, man, I think you could be a preacher. I ain't never heard somebody that use a curse word and then read a scripture right after.
So let me state for the record, I am a misogynist. You know,
Pull out the card, Doc. He's
and I'm a chauvinist as well. Anybody who knows me knows that.
That's right.
Now I can go back to minding my own business. Either that boy is Benjamin Button or somebody lying.
And listen, and that boy may be mentally 12, but he's 34.
You bad boy, you don't do it again.
I'll let Black articulate a little bit better than that.
Nope.
Okay.
Never mind.
It's good for the soul. It's like medicine. Right?
Yeah, for real.
That's all I gotta say. I wish I had one of them applause buttons to, like that.
Good morning, y'all. Happy Monday.
And a happy Monday it is, y'all. It is Monday. It's been 7 days, and it's the day after the Super Bowl. And so much to talk about. Y'all made me have to rearrange my show today. But the family is here, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, everybody. What is up? What is up? We got the brother and the sister in the building. So listen, I'm not gonna play around. Y'all know it is always as such. If we say something you like and you like it a lot and you feel like moving some change out your pocket, please, by all means, find a little tag at the bottom to hit us up with. But I won't play around with this thing. I gotta keep up with Mr. Donald Trump himself because he's the president right now. And ladies and gentlemen, he is doing his thing, and he is celebrating Black History Month by letting our he ain't mine, but the New York mayor, what's his name, Eric Adams.
Yep.
Yeah, he told the folks. He didn't tell Jesus to drop the charges. He told the DOJ to drop the charges. And I said, man, Donald gonna celebrate Black History one way or the other. So again, he gonna always do what he do, but I guarantee you, Kenny said that he had them out like Skittles, pardon like Skittles. I said, well, they're gonna sure have to eat them groceries at some point in time. so again, there's so much other things going on, but as it pertains to his administration, he went into the Super Bowl, and he was the first president to ever go to the Super Bowl. I'm not sure why that was so important to him, but I'll be honest with you, I think that was probably the first and the last time in his next 4 years that he's gonna be going because of the halftime show. so again, I've given ourselves one day to share about it, and we're gonna try to get in and get out with this thing. But I want to start with the family. Did y'all watch the halftime show?
Absolutely.
Well, you know what, ladies first. Then I mean, tell me, sister, what you think about all this going on around here?
The halftime show. I've been seeing a lot of people criticizing it quite a bit, but I just think it's the people who are criticizing it, maybe they're just not as familiar with Kendrick Lamar's music. I mean, because I was getting my whole life, you know what I'm saying, watch it. But I listen to Kendrick Lamar. So, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's just like subjective. And but the fact that Trump was there, I just thought that was dumb. I feel like the Super Bowl has so many people there, and it's just such a huge security risk for him to be there. Not that, never mind. But I just feel like it's just not a good idea for the president to be at that type of place.
Oh my goodness. I have so much to talk about when it comes to this halftime show. But Kenny, our expert sportsman, what was your thoughts, sir?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah,
I'm sure anybody that know me know I was gonna love it. If you follow me on social media, I let it be known I loved it. And I would say this: Kendrick Lamar is an acquired taste, and I said this. It's like some people don't like beer. You find the one that you like, and that's the one you stick with. That's kind of Kendrick Lamar. If you're not familiar with his material, if you didn't listen to his album Good Kid, Mad City, you probably you have to listen to him a couple of times. Me personally, I thought the halftime show was dope. It couldn't have been. They had the perfect artist for the perfect time just because of the convicted felon being there, and nobody could have planned this because Kendrick Lamar was announced he was going to be the artist 2 months ago, so we didn't know if the convicted felon was going to win anyway. But I thought it was great, and I thought his pettiness was on 110. Because I love the way he took a dig at Drake and he smiled at the camera. See, that's something that I would do. So I definitely give him a 10+ for the pettiness.
Okay, listen, I got a few questions to ask y'all before we get through this thing, but I just want to get y'all first initial reactions. Mr. Lee Black, what are your thoughts?
He's definitely not my quiet taste, so I didn't care for it. And I posted it on my social media platform that this is what we waited for that. To Brother Kendrick's point, he made the valid point that, it's definitely an acquired taste. I was completely disappointed. I tuned in to be entertained when it comes to the halftime show, and I didn't find it entertaining. For me, it was a big letdown. Now, full disclosure, I'm not a fan of Kendrick Lamar. I don't get his music, so I've never been a big fan of him. Do I think lyrically he has talent? Sure, but again, he doesn't make music for me. It's not my taste. And now, having said that, I've had somewhat of time to absorb all of this. But in that moment, for me, you had a couple of months to plan an event that 120 million people were going to be watching. And for me, it was a big letdown. Now, Donald Trump visit there different than you guys. I thought it was very strategic. I think everything he's done over these first 3 weeks has been absolutely strategic. He's playing to his base. He's the face of the Prop 2025 movement. He's standing up and letting his base, in particular white America, know that I said it, I stand by it, and I've been preaching for the record. Give him his 100 days. Particularly for us as African Americans. Let him have his 100 days. There's nothing we can do. He's there. He has the power. And so I thought his showing up, he did what a narcissist does. He took the biggest event of the night and wanted it to be about him. I completely get it.
All right, let's dive a little deeper into this thing because, again, I sat and watched it. Again, my kids were annoying me because they didn't understand what all the symbolisms were about, and so they were looking just to hear the music. And to your point, Lee, everybody was normally look at the halftime show is to be entertained. But what I appreciate, again, I don't know the dude's music either. What I do appreciate is the fact that he didn't miss the opportunity. That's an alpha male for me. Like, you don't miss the opportunity because they can't shut it down. It's too late. Again, I saw the other side say, well, I'd rather see Janet Jackson boob again. I know you would. Because why? Because we put it in your face now. And again, he's doing the very thing that most of us do. And here's what they were doing. Monday morning, guess what they wanted to do? They wanted to talk to all their black friends. What y'all think about the halftime show? No, ain't nobody talking to y'all about that. No, y'all sit with all that. Go back and listen to it again. But here's my thing. What the heck was Serena doing there? You got a whole man.
There's a lyric. There's a lyric. You better not ever F with Serena. No. There's a lyric, and they not about us. She's from Compton,
right? And it's a subliminal. Drake used to date Serena.
I got
Remember that. But that's a subliminal diss. What that got to do with anything? She feels.
But she's from Compton. He considers her like his sis.
So she's from Compton. That's his girl. He gonna protect. You know what I'm saying? So her age ain't got nothing to do with it. Her being married ain't got nothing to do with it. And she did the crip walk because guess what? Y'all remember at Wimbledon when she did the little crip walk? Yes. She did that in their face too. So it was some subliminals there. If you don't know the backstory, you probably get like, what the hell is that? Why is she there?
And well, so
I knew she dated him.
Yeah. That's where I was going. I get it. And, and here we are, a day removed, and I've had a chance to absorb a lot of the subliminals. I get her point being there. I guess for me, though, if I'm her husband, and Stephen A. Smith kind of talked about a little bit today on First Take, I probably would have had a problem with her doing it. I get her point being. That's why I said it's very personal. But so I get the subliminal of it, and And then let me be full disclosure too. I don't like Serena Williams with her ugly man face ass either. So there you go.
Okay,
No.
wait. Okay. And again, I understand.
I'm a hater.
This is where it got convoluted for me, because again, I understand the political aspect of it, and then also the pettiness of it. But I mean, my goodness, man, he balanced it decent. I just didn't understand the need for either we're gonna choose one or the other. You know what I'm saying? It's like either we're gonna deal with the politics of everything, and then again, I will say this. I have a lot of respect for the dude, because apparently he's gonna get sued for doing the song or whatever.
No, he's not. He not.
Oh, he not. Oh, yes. Okay. Y'all go ahead. What you got?
So here we are for me the next day, and I love the dialogue that this halftime show has generated.
Mm-hmm.
And the bedrock of my platform has always been, let's agree to disagree without being disagreeable. And right here on this panel, my brother called me on it within minutes of me posting that. Brother Kenny, it's a quiet taste. I loved it. And I saw from some of the other family members that, hey, DJ Mustard, this, that, and the other. I love that this has opened up a dialogue, and at least on my platform, it hadn't got ugly. And I even posted something that one of my friends posted, and it made me view it from a different perspective. So here I am now, a day removed from it. I appreciate it more than I did in the moment. For me, in that moment, I was looking to be entertained.
Right.
But to Kenny's point, Brother Kenny's point, it had me thinking that he had an opportunity where he could have easily come out and did self-promotion, which he did still a little bit. He can't help it. But I do, in hindsight, appreciate that he crafted a message on the biggest platform with all the subliminals to stand up to what's happening here in America. And for that, I respect the shit out of this dude.
Yeah.
Even though for me, I don't get him per se, but that he did it, and with Samuel L. Jackson, there's so many parts we can dissect here of what was done, knowing at this point that a city, because the more I thought about it, maybe he did have something different in mind. But in this moment, when it got announced, maybe this was him saying, this is an opportunity that, like Kenny said, you can't stop me. Once the camera, the lights are on, I have the stage now. And again, I wish it had been a little bit more artistic and entertaining, but I've come to respect a lot of the subliminals. I don't know how far you want to go into that part of it, but Samuel L. Jackson and the dancers forming the American flag divided, and so many things that was way more important than Serena dancing. But even I get, like you said, Kenny, that part was the pettiness of it, but there were some true messages being sent
100%.
and to us. Which I appreciate.
In America, they don't like it, especially the white America. They don't like it when we take away from what they're traditionally wanting to have. And so for that, I do appreciate Samuel L. Jackson for stating that pun. You know what I'm saying? Fantastic. But again, y'all, if y'all ain't used to taking that smoke, y'all gotta be careful when y'all talking with these folks, because they ain't gonna deal with y'all.
However, though, I think the problem was, and although I am a Kendrick Lamar fan, I feel like he didn't have a budget. That's what I saw. I feel like if you are talking about somebody like myself or Ken, we just like the music. So we were just happy to see him perform and do his songs that, there were a couple of them I didn't even know. But I feel like they didn't give him much of a budget because he was the only artist performing. I don't think they put money into him. Like, when he did All the Stars, I wanted there to somehow be, in my mind, a hologram or like something contributing to like Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? Like something just big like that. That's what I wanted. I wanted just for him to like really shine and to have like a huge, like a big budget to be able to like to do more and to show more, even if he kept it blacker than black, because that was the blackest Super Bowl halftime show I've ever seen in my life. But I just wish it would have been like bigger with like fire and what
So
I'm saying,
to-
drone shows and things
I
like
love
that.
this. I love the simplicity of it.
Yeah, I think it would have took away
did.
from the message. in my opinion.
Yeah, but I get it. I get what both you and especially Brother
Mhm.
Black. I get it. A lot of people tune into the halftime to be entertained.
Yeah.
But I think we so used to shucking and jiving sometimes.
Yep,
We can still be entertained, but we can still learn something too at the same
Yes.
time.
for sure.
So
But here's where I'm gonna side with my sister. I think you had an opportunity to do both. That's where, for me, I think it was a missed opportunity. My brother Gene, as watching the show, he said that he was not a fan before, but he's a fan now. And my brother Gene said the symbols mean everything. I get the symbolism, but to my sister's point on the platform here, Lady D, even if it wasn't in the budget, here was an opportunity to make it in the budget. If you're going to make that big statement, you had an opportunity for me to do both, entertain and send a message, because again, the subliminals, I would argue that be direct. He's being direct. They're sending a direct message to us. So again, broaden it out. And I wish it had been more entertaining. Again, for my taste, but I respect where you guys are coming from, the simplicity too. But once again, 120 million people watching.
Yes,
Make it entertaining.
yes. I think there's much more to be said, but at the same time, we're gonna let it speak for itself. So if you hated it, you hated it. If you loved it, you loved it.
Absolutely.
I think the man got his point across. He got y'all's attention. So at that point, we're gonna move on from that. So kudos to Kendrick, man. I appreciate it. And I'll say this too as we move on. They were talking about I couldn't understand his words, and I wanted to just tell y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all much, but I'm gonna tell y'all the reason why y'all can't understand it is because probably a lot of it was cussing, and he couldn't cuss.
well, it was some audio issues off the top. I did notice that, and then it got better until probably maybe 5-6 minutes into his set. There was some audio issues, and I could tell because he sounded muffled. You really couldn't hear what he was saying. That was another problem. He had some technical issues with his audio, so that kind of took away from it too.
That was part of it, but even again, once again, I'm not a fan of the whole mumble rap message type shit.
He's not a mumble rapper.
He's not a mumble
rapper. He's not a mumble rapper.
I'm saying this is how I describe it.
But
again,
he's not. I want you to say, because people would think that he is when they hear you say that. He's not a mumble rapper.
We can argue over the words, whatever you want to call it, the gibberish, this, that, and the other, the fast, whatever his style is, it's still for me that, and that's one of the reasons I'm not a fan of it.
So you don't like Twista.
Do you like Black Licorice? Do anybody up here like
I love Black Licorice? Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
I love Black Licorice. My favorite rapper is Tupac.
Oh yeah.
Somebody who
Mine too.
His intellect, his articulation, his rhyming style. Of course, Biggie is the second. So again, there is a way to interject that artistry and at the same time have it flow where it's entertaining. I don't feel that from Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, for sure. Well, leading into our next conversation, again, if you had to share with your white contemporaries at work today, it's probably going to continue to increase incivility in the workplace. So there was an article almost about a year ago that said in the next 12 months, 66% of the workforce will have experienced or witnessed incivility in the workplace. And so it says most common form of incivility is where people have something to say that is uncouth, or where people are mistreating someone, bullying someone. And I wanted to know what you guys thought about this, because they believe that it's going to get even worse in the next 6 months because of politics. And so I wanted to know, have you guys experienced, because I know covert, issues and things like that. We know how people are, but again, we have to be careful tying everything to racism. You have ugly white and black and Hispanic people that just ugly, period. But again, now because of politics being the way they are, this thing is finna just erupt. What y'all thinking?
I'll go.
Go ahead, brother Black. You got
Beauty before monsters, Lady D.
In my particular workplace where I am now, definitely not.
Oh,
a
good.
lot of the leaders where I work and it's a hospital, believe it or not, trauma 1 hospital, trauma 2 hospital. They look like me, and not only do they look like me, most of them are Black women. Matter of fact, the CEO of the hospital is a Black woman.
Wow.
So I don't think where I work that would be something that happens. I mean, people are thinking it, you know what I'm saying? But I just don't think that conversation would ever happen out loud.
Yeah. Yeah. Black, where you at?
So I have the privilege of working virtual, which I love. So I hope I never have to work back in an office. But I also have the unique opportunity to work in a world where I don't think that would happen in my world. I work in education. And the funny thing about education is they bend over backwards to be civil. And in fact, the organization that I work for, I represent all things Black. For many of them, I am the first real Black person that they have an opportunity to get to know up close and personal. It is a true burden and responsibility to carry that in my world because my company is based in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And for many of those individuals, pre-pandemic, they didn't see my face. They didn't see our faces. They didn't see this.
Right.
And so the virtual world has opened up opportunities to get to know. So I'm the good old Black guy that they've gotten to know. And so for me, it's very civil. If anything, it's far on the other side where they go out of their way to be Pollyanna. Now, me being a 57-year-old man, I'm very well aware of conversations that probably happen off camera, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. But I'm one of them, not one of those. Okay. Education has afforded me to be one of them instead of one of those.
Okay. Kenny, I know that Lee talked about being politically correct, but now that politics have turned itself on its head, how do we get correct in the workplace now?
You know, from my personal experience, me personally speaking, I try to stay away from political conversations altogether. Especially where I'm working now, we really don't even talk about politics. Obviously, you know, I work for FedEx, so obviously I'm sure that company is pro-Republican, I'm sure, pro-Trump, I'm quite sure. And I'm sure quite a the managers are pro-Trump as well. But far as me and the people that I work closely with, we don't even talk. We don't even talk politics, and we may throw a little something about the convicted felon did this, and we leave it at that and keep it moving. So I don't think I'm gonna have an issue with this incivility because.
Can I say one last thing?
We just don't talk about
it. Brother Kenny made a valuable point, and I want to say this to the viewers who are watching this: be careful, folks. This is a slippery slope. You know, even in companies where they look like us. Sister talks about being, you know, Black women. I've lived long enough that sometimes when the knife goes in the back, it's not always by the others, it's by some of us. So be careful when getting too comfortable. Brother Kenny gives a wise advice there. You have to really be careful sharing your political views anyway. Now, my company has made the conscious decision to not fall under the pressure of the DEI. There's a list of companies, and I posted it on my page, that are fighting that. Some of the big ones who have already acquiesced, you know, the Walmarts, you know, the Targets, this, that, and the other. But believe it or not, there are some companies that say, no, we're going to, my company is one of those that is saying, until it's become a legislative mandate, we are not removing that from our this, that, and the other. Having said that, for my people, be careful. Don't ever forget where you at. It's work, even if it's virtue. So don't ever put your feet up on the couch.
Right. Yeah.
Right. For real.
Yeah. So I mean, at the end of the day, you got to keep things separate. Like I don't have friends at work, and again, when I come home, I leave work there unless I'm on call or something. But other than that, we don't I didn't like my food touching when I was a kid, and I don't mix I don't mix my business in with my house stuff. So again, you know what I'm saying? I got 2 phones. You know, I ain't 2 chains, but I got 2 phones again, because when I'm off work, you don't know my personal number. And so my manager can't get, because again, that was one of the little things they used to do. They take the work phone and you can use this. You crazy? No, when I'm off, help. See, you understand what I'm saying? See, y'all know. We know.
I used to be there. I know. I get it.
I pay. Yeah, y'all pay that one. I pay mine, because when I'm on vacation, we couldn't reach you. Well, who got his number? Nobody got my number. So when I'm gone. So y'all keep it separate, because again, they're trying to catch you slipping. So okay. Yep. All right. Well, listen, we're gonna keep it moving, Brother Kenny. That was a blowout, man. I didn't appreciate that game.
Yeah, that was a shocker, I think, to everybody's system. But I appreciated it, but it definitely was. I thought it was going to be closer. But again, Super Bowl 59, it turned out to be a rout for those Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly! Congratulations! They put it on them Chiefs. They actually killed that dream of them winning 3 in a row. They killed that one, Jack. And now the talk is kind of slowing down with this Patrick Mahomes being the GOAT and all that. That's kind of changed this way.
Oh God,
man, that dude got a lot of rings still to make.
He had a whole.
Y'all don't think he's gonna win another one?
No, we're not saying that.
Oh,
we're not saying that. But the GOAT conversation, at least for a couple of years.
You gotta have to, we're gonna put that on the back burner for a while. Okay. But anyway, happy for the Eagles. Well, somewhat happy to beat my Packers. But happy for the Eagles. They got the big win. And speaking of watch, Brother Black brought up a good question. I looked it up earlier. 126 million viewers watched Super Bowl 59. Right now, that is the highest watched Super Bowl on record. The viewership peaked at 135.7 million in the second quarter. But they'll have some more accurate data on this on tomorrow. But I just want to get you all's opinion, what you think. I forgot to ask us who we was picking last Monday. I was like, damn it, I wish I would have did that. But anyway, I did pick the Eagles to win 24-21. So I want to get you guys' thoughts on if you watched all of it, you watched bits and pieces of it, your thoughts. We'll start with you, Miss Devin. Did you watch any of it? What's your thoughts?
I did, and I would have lost my bet. I mean, they was out there playing like my family members. I'm not going to talk about my family. But I was like, damn, step on their toe or something. Like, show up. Like, what is happening? Pinch him. Do something. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I was quite shocked. I did not see that coming. I was almost wondering, was it set up? Because it was such a hot mess.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that, Lady D, because that's been the talk all year, that the Kansas City Chiefs are getting favored calls by the refs. Can we stop that now with the rigged please? I don't want to hear that, because it wasn't rigged. Actually, that one penalty at the top of the game, that had people wondering when A.J. Brown got the push off. But again, it eventually evened itself out. Brother Brenton, your thoughts on Super Bowl 50. Was it a dud, in your opinion?
Hey, Mama.
What's up, Jerry?
Hey, Mom.
Yeah.
Mama watching. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for joining us.
Black Hole voice changed there. He normally
that's Mama. Mom. That's Mama. That's my Mama.
Well, Mama, his segment coming up here really soon, so you get to hear him real good. Hold on. But yes, I stopped after the third quarter. Again, all that, man, it was ridiculous because it was boring at that point. I will say I appreciate Jalen Hurts. You know what I'm saying? He grinded it out. And I misspoke a couple weeks ago when I said he won a Super Bowl. He did get a ring, but I think that white boy the one that won.
No, Jalen Hurts wasn't.
Yeah, he never got a ring.
He wasn't drafted in.
Yeah, no, he wasn't there.
No, he wasn't there yet.
Okay.
That was in 2018. Yeah, Jalen Hurts wasn't in the league.
Okay. Well, I will say this: that Saquon and Jalen together, then they'll probably get another one. But yeah, Jalen has proved that he deserves to be there, and I love that commercial, man, from Jordan that they had about him. Love hurts, and I said that's nice, man. I love that.
I didn't
Oh,
see
it was
that.
nice. You should look it
It
up,
was
man. It
nice.
was real
Yeah,
good.
check it out. It's real nice. Real nice.
Jordan commercial. It was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I thought, man. I didn't watch it all. So
What about you, Black? I know you was checking it out. What's
I
your
watched
thoughts?
every moment. I watched
know you
every
did.
moment of it. Look, I'm an opinionated SOB, and I got to be nice because my mama watching.
oh wow. Now the viewership gonna go down.
I literally watched the whole Super Bowl thing from 1 o'clock all the way. I watched everything, even as frustrated as I was. And I was watching it with my sister Sherry and my niece Cherish. And so we talking about everything. So, Brother Kenny, you said about the fixed one, then I was devastated. I was not devastated. I was blown away at, like Lady D says, I didn't recognize that team. Now, don't get me wrong. I didn't have a stake in who won, and I'm happy. I was happy it would have happened either way. So I'm so happy that Jalen and Saquon got it. But I wish they would have been a little bit more competitive.
Yeah.
But no, I couldn't turn away. And even when I called Tasha, it's still pushed the conspiracy theorists that were they told to not play because they were so uncharacteristically bad until I just didn't recognize that team. Now, to your point, Brother Kenny, a day removed from it, they just got their ass beat.
Yeah,
man. Eagles was the best team on paper and on the field, man. So.
Yeah, they did, and I said this in that segment I produced today. I said that Vic Fangio, who's the defensive coordinator for the Eagles, he should get a piece of that MVP award too, because they sacked Mahomes 6 times. They put him on his ass 11 times. They 6 tackles for losses, 2 interceptions, 1 return for a touchdown by the Eagles, and they did that with a 3 and 4 man rush. They did not blitz him 1 time. So that tells you how trash that Kansas City Chiefs offensive line has been. And I said it all year that eventually their luck was going to run out because they won a lot of close games. And I said eventually their luck was going to run out, and it actually did in Super Bowl 59. So again, shout out to the Eagles. And by the way, Vegas have already made them the favorites to win the Super Bowl 60 next season, which will be in Santa Clara, California. So again, the Eagles are the favorites to win the Super Bowl next year. So again, that's my sports. Back to you, Brett.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Interesting. Well, I ran across this commercial called Book by Anyone. And I said, I'm interested to hear from my family about this. So this thing is about somebody can go on this website, Book by Anyone, and they answer a few questions about an individual, upload a picture, and then AI will generate a 200+ page book about them, about the information that was given in this questionnaire. And I said, "Oh, interesting!" And so then they become a publisher. And I said, "Oh, I wonder what kind of book would somebody write about it." What kind of book would be written about us? And so, Kenny, if somebody put your information in there, what would the title of your book be called, and what kind of book would it be?
Jeez, man. Shit. I don't. Excuse me, Mama. I didn't mean to cuss. My bad. I really don't know, but you know what? I really do want to try it.
Okay.
I really do.
You would? Okay,
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
I would try it just to see. I think it'd be fun.
Okay, yeah. Sister, I mean, would you try it? And what would the name of your book be?
You couldn't pay me to walk up in there for them to write a story on my life. Have me institutionalized, lost my job, cut off my folks. I make a lot of money, I tell you that. If I was retired, I'd do it, but right now they can't do a book on my life. They ain't gonna go with it.
I think it's fictional.
Yeah, I think it is fictional.
And it's like
well, then if that's the case, it'd be fun. Then yeah, do it.
Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah, it's just fictional, and they just make up a story and take the information about you, and then they just come up create this book. No, it's not a documentary.
So you don't give it real life events about yourself.
No, you answer like
right. No, you're right. No,
yeah. So it's just making up a story. AI is just creating a story based on certain questions that were answered, and then it's supposed to be like some type of a gift to somebody just to see what AI thought up. So yeah, no, it's fictional. Okay.
Okay, well then I'd call it YOLO. Cuss them out today.
Okay, so it'll be laced with quite a bit of profanity. Is that what you're telling me? Okay. All right. Well, listen, the most interesting man on the internet, sir. I know you would do it because you don't care.
I would absolutely do it.
Oh, I know you would. Yeah. So, Sherry.
And I'm going to do it. I did. You know, I don't ever look at the topics before I come to the platform because I like everything to be fresh for me.
Oh, sweet.
I've got to look this up now. I'm going to do it.
Send me a copy. I want to read it.
Absolutely.
I want to read it. So what would be the name of the book then?
So if it's just based on questions I answer, it would probably be "It's the Journey, Not the Destination."
Okay.
You know,
that's a hell of a title.
Because that's for me, you know, where I would love, and I'm going to do this, and there's a benefit. I've been wanting to kind of get into this AI world anyway, because I literally have been working on a book for over 10 years called The Ebony Chronicles, which is a true depiction of all the nasty, filthy, no good bitches that I've messed with. Yes, Lord.
Mama, and this is for you.
This is a test.
Look,
reason why we have these things.
and that is a story, but there's wisdom all in it. Look, you bitches, y'all don't wash enough, and there needs to be some kind of wisdom passed down to you to get your stuff together. And so the Ebony Chronicles would be a true tell-all. Wow. Yes, indeed.
Well, Terry McMillan better scoot over.
I mean this when I say it. I would love to have a reality show starring all the women that Black has dealt with. What? I would be a billionaire.
They did it already. It's called Flavor of Love.
Hell to the no!
Thank you, TDJs, because I might be fat, but I ain't ugly.
No, I'm not saying the host, but I'm just talking about all the women that was okay. Anyway, I'm just saying, yeah, Delicious and all them other. Oh yeah, I know. Mm-hmm. Well, I thought about it for myself, and I said the title of my book would be "My Mama Would Tell You." He'll give you the shirt off his back, just don't cross him. That'll be the name of my book. And again, that's who I am in a nut. Listen, my mama told me that one time. I asked her, I said, Mama, this is way before I got married. And I said, Mama, if a woman asks you what it is she needed to know about me, she told me that. And I said, wow, I'll never forget that, Mama. I said, because that's the truth. And I thought about that. And I thought it'd be a good book. It'll have a really good twist at the end, because I'm sure I would kill somebody. Listen, I'll be honest with you. They say if you ain't never done it, you be scared. I ain't scared to do nothing. I promise you. Especially if you get me there, I'd go and pull one on you. But never.
I gotta try that though.
Yeah, book by anyone. That's a website. So check it out. All right, y'all. We moving this train right along. So, sister, I saw who business you getting in. I didn't think you want to talk about that clown.
While trying to mind my business. See, he is why I mind my business, because I don't want to run across people like Kanye dumbass. Sorry, Mama. While minding my business, I don't know if y'all saw this. This fool recently went on a rant saying every racist, hateful thing he could about Jewish communities and Jewish people. Even to the point of saying that he loves Nazis, or he's a Nazi and Hitler was super cool. And all I thought was what I just said, nurse, he's out. I want to know, did y'all see this? Well, I'm going to add the first question I'm asking Ken. Did you see this? And in seeing that, do you just say, that's just Kanye?
I actually posted in the chat on. He actually started his rant on X. I want to say Friday night. And he went all weekend. I posted from the Shade Room in our chat. I personally speaking, man, I actually feel sorry for the brother, because he definitely needs therapy. I don't care what nobody say, and it's sad to me to see that this dude is. I hate to say this, but it's not going to end well. I really don't believe it's going to end well. And my thing is, who in his circle, somebody, cannot anyone save him? Cannot anyone get to him? And so it's sad to see this black man on this path, man. And I'll be honest with you again. I think most of us are saying, "Oh, that's just Kanye," but man, it's really looking. I don't think this is going to end well for the brother. I really don't.
Brenton, one other comments, because I was reading the comments as I was going through that, and I felt like every comment or every other comment was, well, y'all didn't care when Elon did what he did, which was make the hand gesture that he's saying was Roman salute. Some people were saying it was a hateful or anti-Jew.
Yeah.
But do you see the difference? Or do you compare him and Elon?
If I do, then they both grew up in the same daycare. If I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if his mama passed away around this time or something. You know what I'm saying? Or why he's cutting up like this. I don't remember when she passed, but I wouldn't be surprised. But I'll be honest with you, Kanye is to the point where we look at Kanye as like everybody got that town food. You know, that city food. I remember in the city I lived in for a while. We had a dude, he walked around the city. His name was Cornbread. And so when you seen Cornbread, it was like you just leave that dude alone. It's Cornbread. And so I just think this is Cornbread West. He's back talking again, and he got too much money where ain't nobody gonna challenge him because they don't want to get cut off. But it's Cornbread. So again, I don't take nothing he say to heart. He can say the most outlandish things, and I just think the boy need to take that money and get some psychological education, and he won't. So again, as far as I'm concerned, even when you telling the truth, Kanye, you ain't listening no more because you the boy that cried wolf. Nobody takes you serious, and so that in itself is probably should frustrate him more, because even if he does say something true, nobody will look up if Kanye said, "Oh, planes falling from the sky." Shut up, Kanye. They're not gonna listen to you.
Yeah. But Cornbread and his gold biker shorts was a hometown hero, so they could never be compared.
We'll talk about that later.
He's a local celebrity, but black. Whereas Elon is a multi-billionaire and still able to pull strings with Trump. I was just telling somebody earlier that I feel like Elon has something on Trump, and he's indebted to him because whatever Elon says do, that's the bill that he passes. And I don't know if Kanye feels he's going to be treated the same as like an Elon, who no matter what you say to him, you really can't hurt him because he has enough money to not give a damn. Do you think there's a comparison? And when you have like a Wendy Williams who literally has a conservatorship for doing so much less, how is this fool able to walk and talk and act up without consequences? Or do you think there will be?
I do. Part of the intro to this show is There Are Two Americas. And the mistake that I think he's making is that he doesn't realize in 2025, it's a different America than it was in 2020. And to Brother Kenny's point, I think this doesn't end well. We, as Black people, we are Dr. Frankenstein. He's the monster. And so even when Brother Brenton is 1000% correct, we've tolerated his behavior for so long until for us it falls on deaf ears. But he's not recognizing that over the last 3 weeks, we're living in a different America now. And to your point, sister, Trump has aligned himself for the first time with someone that's more powerful than he is. He made a deal with the devil.
Yeah.
Whereas most people, you can tell shoo and go away. This individual could buy you 50 times over. Trump's net worth is about $8 billion. His is $150 something billion. He also happens to own the platform that is the largest social media platform in the world. So you can't even shut him up. And so the mistake Kanye's making, and we all know, let's say the hard part out loud. You can talk about Black people. if you want to. There's some protected classes that you can't talk about. And where it's been tolerated before because, oh, he's just Kanye. But when you talk about Jews in the LGBT community, you're messing with a powerful conglomerate, and now having someone in a position where they are bringing the hammer in the day of reckoning, Brother Kenny is right. Is it not enough that at one point, when the Yeezys and your power, he had over close to $4 billion, and within 24 hours, it was taken from him. If you haven't learned yet, ask P. Diddy. At the end of the day, you're going to be reminded that whatever you think you have can be taken just like that. And I agree with Brother Kenny. It's not going to end well because now they are not playing. They are operating in the open. The only difference now between now and my mama's era is they're not wearing the sheets.
Yep. Right about that, brother.
Well, y'all know how I feel about Kanye. I just think he's a fool. I don't have no tolerance for him. These antics though make me feel sometimes like he's going through some weird episode. And my thing about him is not everybody's going to give him a pass. Where in the Black community, we'll be like, y'all know that boy ain't right. Y'all know that's the first thing we would say. Y'all know that boy ain't right. But not everybody's going to be as empathetic as we are and just let it go because we quote unquote know that boy ain't right. And I feel like he's going to end up hurting himself and he's going to end up getting himself in trouble behind this lady. He's dog walking through town barefoot, butt naked. And he's going to be the next documentary, him and that AI robot that he holding on to. So I just wish somebody would get a hold of him before he ends up under the prison, because y'all know they don't have a problem doing it to him. Now I'll go back to minding my own.
No,
media.
No, they're not gonna do that. But I will say this: I told the brothers this earlier, and I said I was gonna bring this up. I just want y'all to know something. At the Battle of Troy against, I can't even think of the word. Troy and Greece, right? And they gave Greece that Trojan horse as a gift. Y'all know Elon ain't from this country. And so the only way this world was going to be able to take down America is give them a gift that America would let them inside. Elon Musk given us our Trojan horse, and it has a name now. And the horse's name is Donald Trump. And so I just want y'all to know, y'all may think we done played and y'all done let this man hype y'all up, but now we done let the horse inside the gates, and now this country may have to implode. And I promise y'all, there's a lot more happy people on the outside of this country than it ain't. So if that happens, so y'all just, again, I ain't a conspiracy theorist, but you know, I know I'm gonna take a page out of my boy Black's book. So it is what it is. I said extra chicken. Now, I don't know if y'all have a restaurant that you really enjoy and that you have to have your food a certain way, and it will come to blows if you don't get it that way. But a young lady had a problem at Chipotle, and she said that she asked for extra chicken, and apparently they didn't give her enough scoops, and then she had the nerve to want a refund, and when none of those things went down, she took her behind the counter and started throwing them hands and getting her chicken and putting the food on. And so she got up. And so I'm just wondering, has it come to this? Are we that deprived now? Are we that depraved where now we no longer have the filters? We're no longer controlling ourselves, and we're just doing whatever. And again, I know we used to have bail money, but y'all, I mean, is there a restaurant that you gonna act the food like that on, Blee?
No, not for me. But you know, I love this question because I'm 57 years old, and I come from a generation X. I always get them the what's mixed up. I think I'm Generation X.
You are,
or whatever.
Yeah, we are.
Yes, we are. Yes.
I come from a time when we were raised with manners and civility. Yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am. In this case, America is the Dr. Frankenstein. We've created a world where nobody's told no. Freedom is not free. And we live in a world now where people feel like they're entitled to do whatever, say whatever, go wherever. And so that you can create that type of scene where because your food is not right, and you see it over and over. This is not an isolated incident. You know, you don't even have to go back far. Some lady in Memphis, Tennessee got the hell beat out of her with a coffee pot this past weekend for doing the very same thing. And it happens here all the time. And people are getting killed over stuff like that because there is no civility and people feel like they can talk to you any kind of way. I come from that world of customer service. I spent over 25 years before I was in education working in retail. And there was a time when, you know, there was some level of civility, but even then, back then, you know, there was some level of respect. I got out of that field because you can pay me to go back to that. Right. People are dying now and things like that. And what's happening is you got too many videos that are going viral, this, that, the other. I'm grateful I don't work in that environment because I would beat the hell out of somebody with a coffee pot too. You're going to climb over that counter one time. I would come to work with the mindset that the moment you get out, I would take that fry basket and beat the hell out of you.
Sister, I mean, what's the world coming to today? Why are these, as we used to call them in the pandemic world, these essential workers, all of a sudden now getting harassed and attacked by these consumers?
I feel like a lot of times when we see people clowning like this, it's usually the younger generation. Yep. There's a respect factor that I feel like the younger generations just don't have. There's this weird entitlement and just no couth. But what's bad about it is even the people in the stores though also don't have couth. Where when somebody wants to cuss you out and clown, the first thing I would think is you call the police, get them arrested, get a criminal trespass, don't fool with them no more. They come back, they get arrested. Now they gonna fight you back. Yep. Like they fighting with these people over some a Chipotle rice and beans. It's not even your store. I don't care. You can take every bag of rice and beans out that damn refrigerator. As long as I get my check, I don't care. I just call the police on you and let them deal with you, and you can just get charged for whatever you steal. I'm not fighting nobody over a store that don't belong to me that would fire me in a minute just because they feel like it. So I don't get both sides of it. Now, if you put your hands on me, whatever I was chopping that chicken up with, I mean, it is what it is. But you know what I'm saying? But if you just want to come back there and clown, that's your business. I just don't understand people and just the level of disrespect. And what worries me the most is these people that are acting like this are unfortunately the adults that are going to be caring for us when we're too old to do so.
Yeah. Yeah. What up, DJ? Good to see you, man.
What up, DJ? What's that?
Hope the family doing well. Kenny. So this is my thing, man. As Sister stated, we y'all, these workers, they treat these companies like it's theirs. And listen, let's let the girl get her food and go on about her business. Why y'all keeping up the ruckus? But I mean, so what you thinking about all this, man? You gonna fuss over a double cheeseburger?
Nah, I'm not going to do that. But this is the Black said it good. I mean, I think we live in a social media world where everybody want to go viral. I think a lot of people just do this stuff just because they want somebody to post a video. And with their stupid selves, now you all over the world and ain't going nowhere. Now you can be charged with assault. I don't get how these dummies do this all over some chicken. But no, I'm not going to do that. I came from a different generation. I'm Generation X, like we all are. So I'm not going to be tripping over somebody not giving me exactly what I want. I just won't patronize that restaurant ever again.
Right. Yeah. So y'all listen, there's a difference between being famous and infamous. Y'all need to look it up. There's a difference. And what you clowns are doing is being infamous, right? But y'all still on camera, so y'all may not know no better, but there's a difference. So while you trying to get your 15 minutes of fame, you finna get that 5 to 10 infamously.
Right. Yeah, for real.
So all right. Well, listen, this train is moving. My goodness, but here we are. It is Black Love Series, and again, I've been away from you guys for a long time, and we just started the year up last 3 weeks ago, so I got a lot to talk about. And so I want to talk about healthy conversations. And here it is about this. I want to just see if we're all on the same page. What is a healthy conversation, then?
Conversation where you listen to hear the person and you don't listen to just respond.
Okay. All right. Kenny, what is your definition of a healthy conversation? Go with her.
Lady D, she knocked it out the park.
All right.
That's what I think.
All right. Well, Mr. New York, what is, sir, your definition of a healthy conversation?
For me, it's one that has a sense of resolution and benefit to all those participating.
Okay. All right. So here's my question, and y'all know I got a few tentacles to go with this. Can an argument be considered a healthy conversation?
Absolutely.
Okay, how so?
I'm a firm believer that arguments are necessary in any type of relationships. I question any relationship where you don't have disagreements. We're not built to think on and agree on every single thing, and even in friendships, the friendships is built on differences, but having a healthy conversation is part of arguing, passionately for what you believe. And again, coming to a resolution that benefits the friendship. But especially if you're talking about romantic relationships, I don't think I would want to be with somebody that doesn't have a different point of view, is not willing to stand up for that point of view. Mm-hmm. And for me to be able to argue that point. Now, where the argument becomes unproductive is when it gets out of place, where it's abusive and name calling and things of that nature. Yeah. But you can argue your point. They're debate teams. That's an argument. My platform is built on that. Kenny can attest to this. We go at it hard, and there's love, because if there is a respect for the persons that you're arguing with, you're not going to cross a certain line anyway. And even when that happens through human error, there's a forgiveness, because it's coming from a place of love. And again, it has to be resolved. I had a thing when I was married where you don't have an argument and go to bed early, go to bed without settling that argument, because you don't want to let it to fester. Okay. And, so that was the thing that I always tried to do, and again, your arguing style makes a difference too. I'm not a yeller, this, that kind of thing, not with somebody I love. If it's a nasty, no good bitch, I'm going to cuss her out and tell her about a business. But that's a different story.
Okay, sister. Now we know the term. I know, Mom. I'm gonna hit him again in a minute. Hold on, sister. We know the term. It takes two to argue. So, what is it that is causing arguments to become unhealthy if it takes two? What's the problem in this equation? Is it the individuals, or like Black brought up, the respect? Again, what is it that we're missing from turning these arguments into unhealthy conversations?
I literally just had this conversation with my husband. I'm not going to tell our business, but a lot of it is ego.
Okay.
A lot of it is ego. You're upset with me about something. And instead of you telling me what it is you really feel, you want to take a dig in another way or make a comment or something like that. When if you would have just said that you felt this way when I did fill in a blank, and just been honest, because you worried about you looking soft or looking, or feeling jealous or whatever y'all be going through in y'all head. Instead of just being honest and saying,
don't say y'all.
You too. Just be honest and say how you feel and leave your ego at the door. We can get through so many more arguments, or what I like to call passionate dialogue, because I struggle with coming back from an argument, because when I argue, I say stuff that I can't take back. So I just say passionate dialogue. So it just takes two mature people to have this conversation and to be able to really say how you feel.
Hey, Carl, good to see you. I'm glad.
Hey, what up, DC?
What's up? My Californian brother about to jump on this. I already know.
Okay, so Kenny, give me your position then. If the argument is, as Devin says, about the people is the issue. I mean, so where you stand with this?
I definitely think that there's a style to argument or passionately debating, as Lady D said. I think the thing we bring to that argument, a lot of it is facts and emotions, and I think a lot of us, even men, brings our emotions to these debates or arguments, and sometimes we can't express ourselves correctly. So then we go off the hinge, and sometimes vice versa for women too. But I think there's a healthy way to debate. I think there's a healthy way to have a disagreement with your romantic partner. And the first thing to do is to check your emotions at the door and stay on topic. Don't talk about what somebody did 2 weeks ago. You should address that then. Let's address what we're talking about right now.
Nope.
I know you. She thought she talking to DJ.
Yeah,
I'm talking to Ken.
No, and I was talking to Lady D. Yeah.
Can I throw a point in there?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
So here's my little pushback on Lady D. I don't disagree with what she said because it's real, but there's a flip side to that coin too. You know, and Lady D looking at me side-eyed because a man's ego and a woman's ego is two different things in my personal experiences.
We've talked about this before.
Exactly. So that's why I'm gonna go there. So sometimes the argument ensues because I thought where Kenny was going to go, and he brings up this point all the time, is that many times being a man arguing with a woman, there is some holdback because you're knowing she can't handle certain things. You know, the famous line from the movie is, "You can't handle the truth." And sometimes that emotion, now we do have this new breed of man that's a little too emotional out there. But if you're of my age group, you know, a lot of times men argue with a sense of logic without the emotional thing get into it. My sister's on this show right now, and me and her, we go head up on arguments. I love my sister to death, but when women sometimes argue and they doing a point, I was about to really curse. Why the hell y'all got to go all around broad? Well, see, you made me feel this way because when you came in, you was wearing this and you said this, that. Get to the goddamn point and just tell me what's going on, and let's get to resolve this damn thing. But my thing is, sometimes we got to hear all about the unnecessary nonsense. And so the argument for men sometimes is, let me suppress what I'm about to say, because you know what? I know if I really let her hear the truth, I can let it go, Lady D, and lay my fat funky ass down and forget about it. But now you festering, and you already admitted that I wouldn't sleep. I might have to sleep with you with one eye open because you're gonna be out for blood.
Are you about to rebut?
Yep.
Of course.
I see 2025 best shows about to happen again. All right, here we go.
Yep.
Gone.
First of all, my problem is I let too much go. And then I allow my person to get too comfortable with me and just think they could say anything or whatever. And then when I say one damn thing, you swear to God, I'm the most disrespectful human ever. And when Ken was talking about don't bring up something from 2 weeks ago, but when you say I shouldn't have did X, Y, and Z, but I'd be like, but wait a minute, because on December 24th, you said such and such, and I didn't say a damn thing. And then on January the 2nd, when you said such and such, I didn't say nothing. So why all of a sudden when I'm saying this, now it's a problem? It was good for the goose is good for the gander. You know what I'm saying? Or I may not say nothing because I'm guilty of shutting down when I'm angry because I don't like to argue. I just shut down. And then all of a sudden, it may be the next day, we in the middle of watching a movie. I don't care what it is, if we pay for it. And I'll just be like, look at here. Yesterday. And then we're going to have a conversation because now I'm ready to talk about it because I feel like I can do it without arguing. Because Ken, hold on. If I would have brought it up prior when I was mad, it was going to turn into an actual argument.
I get
so
that.
I needed to sit in it for a minute and pick my words carefully, make sure I'm mature in it so that we can have a discussion. But y'all problem is you got some kind of ego, especially when you're in your feelings about something I said or about a dude or something you seen on social media. Whatever, I ain't gonna tell about my business.
Yeah.
Saying it hurt my feelings when you want to start saying
Be
like
careful, bro.
shut down or it's ego. Your ego interferes with conflict resolution.
Okay. Well, listen, I want to say this.
Hey, don't look at me like that.
He's reserving. He'll talk to you next week.
That's my dog. That's my dog.
He'll talk to you next week. This is what I want to say to you all, though, because here it is what we're talking about. In itself, arguing is not unhealthy. It's the people who's doing the arguing that their unhealthiness gets exposed. And the problem is when we're not focused, you're pointing the wrong way. When we're not focused on what the issue is, then what happens is that we then detour, thus getting into areas of unhealthiness. Again, no, we're not always supposed to agree. But at the same time, we always have to understand we have to protect the relationship. And so saying things that you can't take back and then holding things that you're trying to explode later, that's not healthy for us. And so again, here's some things that I think we need to keep in mind about when we're talking about people arguing. Number one, when we're arguing in itself is not the problem. It's making sure you're understanding the person you're arguing with. And knowing who you're arguing with determines how I'm going to approach the conversation. Okay? Number two, we have to trust each other. I don't argue with nobody. Listen, you can't offend me if I don't like you. You cannot offend me if I don't care nothing about you. And matter of fact, when I don't care nothing about you, I don't got nothing to say to you. Right? And so at that point, it's not even necessary. But if I care about you, here's what I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen. If I'm taking the time to have a conversation with you, that means I care. And that means I respect you. And so again, it has to be mutual though, right? Because I'm not arguing with somebody who doesn't have the same respect for me as I'm going to have for them. And then we got to get out of it. So at this point, here's the reality. No, yeah, we've made arguing unhealthy because we are not appropriating it in its proper place. And we are arguing with people that we shouldn't be arguing with. Now, if you pick the wrong person, that's on you. You know what I'm saying?
And I was going to end it with folks say he's the good side of the Capricorn on the bad side. I will argue with your monkey ass whether I like you or not because I ain't going to hold it in. And sometimes people just need a real good cussing out.
Now, I'm not disagreeing that.
I agree. Again, I disagree with Lady D, especially with the part when she said, I don't want to talk about it now. Who made you decide when I want to talk about a problem I have with you? So now you just blowing me off. Now you're not respecting me enough to not even want to hear that, yeah, I want to talk about this now. I don't want it to be on your dime.
But that's your women in your life must have been really nice because any man who been with me needs to know that it's best to let me chill out for a minute.
You don't want that smoke right there.
That is unhealthy. That is unhealthy.
I don't know if I agree with that, Kenny, because you got to respect what she's saying. Now, again, but we got to trust it.
Respect go both ways. You got to respect me, too, to say that, no, I want to talk about this right now.
Kenny. I'm a Kenny.
So you got to respect me, too. You can't just blow me off.
At no later time.
Like I'm cornbread wearing some goddamn yellow biking shorts.
But again, here's the thing. Here's the compromise. Because here's the thing. If I trust that you're going to come, and again, we'll just take this scenario, right? Because there's so many. But I'm saying as it relates to knowing the person. So if she says she's going to come back, then I need to trust and be vulnerable enough to know that what she's going. If she's going to come back, then she's not going to try to hurt me.
Right. It's how you bring it to me.
That's right.
I could rock with that.
Right.
Okay.
But then if you come, but here's the toxicity. When you're doing it to manipulate, and here it is, when you burn us, it's what I'm telling y'all about us. All three of them they can call me a lot if they want to. When you burn us, you ain't getting another opportunity again. So again, don't break trust in an argument by trying to throw a little jab here, especially when the other person is trying to be genuine about the situation. Because if I say I'm gonna let you make it, but then you come back and you finna hit me with a whole list of foolery, now we in trouble. We'll never fix it. So you got to be careful. Again, listen, I'll respect where you at, but you better make sure that the respect go both ways. That if I'm gonna wait for you, it's just only in this scenario because some women can't argue. Like for me, I
ain't met one. Yeah, I don't know what women you talking about.
Listen,
every woman I done met can.
No. Okay, so let me tell you something. I'll tell you.
They can do that. They might can't cook, but they can damn sure argue.
You making me take a rabbit hole. I don't mind, but I'm gonna tell you like this: arguing, because DJ made a statement too, which is true. Sometimes they be lying, and they just be making up stuff. And then when you get called to the carpet about what you're saying, I don't want to care about what you're feeling. Listen, you can have a feeling in your butt because you're sitting down too long. That don't mean it's true. But the reality is give me some information that we can use, because bump all that feeling stuff. So again, that's what I mean by arguing, because some women can't, because they all want to talk about I feel. What you mean? Go outside. It's cold outside. You can. I don't understand. He said, no, you should chill when it's someone. Now that is true. What's up, Craig? Happy New Year, man.
Hey, what up, Craig?
Long time, man. He said sometimes people need to take the time to process what they want to say. Otherwise, and see, that's a scenario. But if you got to know your people.
Yeah.
Because some people can talk on the one, some people can't.
Yeah.
And then some people
know who you. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So it's not arguing in itself is not unhealthy. It's who you're getting into it with. So don't argue with people you don't care about, because again, that's going to be unhealthy. And then when you do care about somebody, make sure we're going to respect each other's position. So if you don't know who you are in an argument, you need to take some time and think about it, so that before we have a conversation, you can say, hey, so listen, if we start going the wrong direction, I'm gonna shut up, so we just move on. So don't poke at me. That's how I am. Like, if it's going in the wrong direction, I know me. Like, I get that. And when I get a bad understanding, ain't no coming back, because I'm gone. So don't get, when I tell you, all right, let's go and leave it alone. I don't need to, because then that is. So again, know your people and stop arguing with dummies, because the argument in itself is not unhealthy. It's the people. So if you got some filthy no goods like my man up there, then that's what it's gonna be. Okay, all right. We'll move on from that. That's it. Again, all we want to do is elaborate on things. That's all we're doing, just elaborating on little things. So good conversation. I think it's gonna help somebody tomorrow. Maybe not. If it don't, okay. we'll get to it. But listen, Mama, here's your boy, and he got something to say. Now I don't know what he's gonna say here, but I have my commercials ready. And he said, "And now what?" So he can have it. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Lee Black.
So, for some of our loyal viewers, you're joining late, and I do hope you go back and watch this content. And because we discussed the halftime show with Kendrick Lamar, and it's a conversation worth watching. And I'm revisiting it now because I think it opened up a door to a more important conversation, because it has generated enough conversation that gave me a different perspective. And I want to give a shout out to one of my close friends on my page. And if you get a chance, visit my page. Dr. Brian Walker posted something, and I thought it was important enough to shift it over to my page, where there is a deep and constantly growing conversation about the halftime show. And in the beauty of this last topic about arguing, there's a real deep argument happening, but in the right way. If you haven't seen this, people are passionately giving both sides of how they feel. Kenny, I think you chimed in and saw this. They are articulate, they are intelligent, they're challenging each other, but it's done with love and respect. It started out by Dr. Walker saying the biggest protest in Super Bowl history happened on the stage tonight, and folks are screaming it's boring or trash because it went over their heads. And he went into a litany of what they didn't see. And Brother Brenton, you talked about Trump being a Trojan horse. I hope this conversation continues. I think it's important enough that it doesn't stop. One of my close friends, she chimed in on my own post that I posted about this, where I said I didn't like it. And she mentioned how for the younger generation, this represents their new movement. They see him as possibly like some new movement of the Black Panther, some new alliteration of the Black Panther. And I asked her a simple question. Well, if that's true, then I hope that they do pick up the mantle, because Lord knows we need some leaders. Right now, if never before, we're not living in a time of the 60s and 70s where we're speaking out. And that's what I said at the beginning, that we need more than subliminals from this. As I've looked now and dissect his show, there was great things happening. Samuel L. Jackson represented, we see on the walls of militaries around the world, Uncle Sam with the big hat pointing, saying, "This is you." Uncle Sam Jackson portrayed Uncle Sam, but for us, because he was representing the voice of Black people as we're sitting back watching this new administration dismantle and counteract systemic racism and misogyny and encourage diversity and impugning people of color and LGBT community and infringing on the rights of women like we've never seen before. And so the subliminals in this halftime show, I hope it doesn't just end here. Because if this is truly some sense of artistic genius that's happening, it shouldn't stop here. And so I challenge those that say that it went over my head to do something about it. Because you know what? When I sit back on my quiet Saturday afternoons and I'm watching my nature show and a white person goes and climbs up Mount Everest, you know what I'm sitting back saying? And now what? You done made it to the top. What the hell does that mean? Many people have made a true life out of figuring out how to not work. Their hands are soft as baby shit because they would rather do unnecessary fuckery and foolishness and not work and truly make a difference. And so if this artistic impression of where we stand as Black people and our fringes are right, let's make it count, folks. And so if you're telling me I haven't been woke enough and we need to wake up, this awakening and not awakening is what put him into a second term. And so I want to call out some of the hypocrisy here for those that are really saying this was so great, it was artistic, it went over our heads, and we need to get more from it. Because if we need to get more from it, let's talk about a couple of things real quick. You know what I'm saying? There was some hypocrisy here in many ways, that this was a song that drew attention to a beef between two brothers. How about Make Up? Because what we actually are doing is we're promoting nonsense, fuckery, and foolishness between two Black men, millionaires at that. How about the fact that I was told that, well, did you see how SZA came out and she was dressed appropriately? Well, if you're able to come out and get your message across dressed appropriately, why not do that all the time? Why are we promoting then wet ass pussy and all this other nonsense about brokey and these ugly fish-faced bitches out here who twisting their legs and ain't even washing their stinking trap? If you're able to get that message across with artistry, why not do it, folks? My thing is, for those who in Kendrick's circle, he's worth $140 billion. What are you going to do now? Now that the message is out and we're talking about it, do you sit back and fire up your blunts and tell him you did that, man? Do you sycophantly tell him, man, you got... What happens next? Now that you've climbed Mount Everest, you've got the attention of 120 million people. Folks, is this going to lead to less crime, better treatment of women and children? Is it going to encourage Black men to be better fathers to their children? Is it going to cause you nasty motherfuckers to even pull your pants up and act right, get a better education? Are we going to start talking about economic employment, financial independence? What are we going to do about Black on Black crime? And Serena coming out there doing the Crip walk, is that the representation of Black women? Somebody that is bleaching her skin to the point that she don't even want to be Black? Is that what we're saying, folks? So what I'm asking for is for us to continue to talk about this. If I am to be woke up and appreciate Kendrick Lamar, and I truly do, and hindsight, I'm looking at what was said, so I don't want us to stop talking about it. But talk ain't nothing but a whole lot of words coming from people who ain't got shit to say. Do something, make it count. And so if this new iteration of the Black Panther Party from these young people is going to wake up, how are you going to wake up when you have no sense of history of our culture, our government, or even of self? So now that we've seen Mr. Kendrick Lamar perform, and you telling me how great it is, my question, just like Uncle Sam is pointing, I'm pointing to you.
Mm-hmm.
What's next?
Good job, sir. Very good. Well, Brother Malcolm would be pleased. Thank you, sir. What a great show today, man, and all the comments coming in from our beautiful family. You said
That's
leave
what I'm
Serena.
saying. Leave my sis out of it.
Nah, man, she ain't no sister no more. She looking like she look
Hey.
okay. All right. Lee just told us not
Y'all
to
look
do it.
at filters. Those are filters. That lady did not look whitewashed yesterday.
All right, Black, and all right, hold on, Black. What'd you say? And now what? So we're gonna leave it alone. All right. All right. Well, listen, great job, y'all. 100%, man. We did a good job. It was a lot going on this week, and so we had to omit some things that we normally do, but it's okay. I think we did a great job. And Mama Lee, thank you so much for allowing us to know that you joined us, and all the other family. I appreciate it. If we ain't doing nothing else, we trying to do our part if we can. She's looking good.
Thank you, Real Estate Insider.
All right, sir. All right. He didn't hear the message. All right, it's final thoughts time, and I promised Kenny I wouldn't let him go in between these two no more. So, sir, I'll let you start.
Because you know both of them are tough act to follow. So just God damn,
I look out for my brother. I look out for you now, man. Yes, sir.
Let them two deal with each other. I just want to say, hey, listen, man. I'm rocking with my namesake. I don't care what nobody got to say. Kendrick Lamar is that dude for me. And again, and I'm not trying to make nobody like Kendrick Lamar. I just want to say we all have a different taste, and I respect everybody's opinion. Again, I'm not trying to want nobody to rock with him, but I'm gonna rock with him. And so I dug his halftime show. But we do got bigger fish to fry, like you said, Brother Black. And now what? I definitely agree. What we going to do about it, Black community? What are we going to do about it? So definitely that was a great message by my good brother Black. So that's my final thoughts. And just like my brother Kendrick Lamar said, sometimes you got to pop out and show ninjas. And that's what we got to do. So that's my final thoughts.
He said y'all picked the right platform from the wrong. So
they damn so did.
He showed it, and he represented. So I appreciate it. If you're gonna say something, do something. So yeah, right. He did it. All right, sister, always a pleasure.
Yup. I want to make a public service announcement.
You giving out your phone number again?
Okay.
I
want to make a public service announcement.
All right.
For you men who think you want to have a conversation with us as soon as something come up, I'm here to tell you that you don't. Women have the power to say some things to you that can do one of three things: make you go cry in the corner or cry in the car, want to fight us, or never speak to us again. We hold back so much in arguments because just like y'all understand that our feelings can be hurt, because I'll be completely transparent. Women, we become insecure when we think you are seeking something that's a better version of us, or that you're less attracted to us. That hurts women's feelings. Y'all are the same, but unlike women, y'all won't admit that.
We can.
So when a woman says to you, I don't want to talk about that right now, y'all need to let that go, because the things that we don't say are a really, really, really big deal. And not all women are as petty as me. I understand. I'm a different breed. You know what I'm saying? Because like you talking about after the argument, don't say nothing there. Now I'm petty. I'm going to say little things just to remind you of what you said yesterday. But then we're going to laugh about it and we're going to move on, because I want to make it where it was a nothing argument and a waste of our time. And now it's just funny. You know what I'm saying? So we can just let it go. Let's laugh about it. And I'm going to be petty about it. Or I'm going to talk about your mama or something. But let women chill out for a moment and just get our thoughts together before we have a discussion, so that it's something that we know we can come back from.
I feel like that final thought was directed at me. I'm feeling a little offended.
She did exactly what I said. No.
Say what?
You want to talk about it?
You know what? You see what I got my hands folded, so
This
obviously
is
not.
it. She thinks she's slick. She could have said that in the segment, but she's gonna do it in the final thought because you know we ain't gonna talk about it no more.
She
That's
gonna
all
be
right.
slick. I felt
That's it.
offended. Okay,
That's
I
it.
got
All right. That's what I'm talking about with
I'm
y'all.
sorry,
You
Brother
could
Black.
have you
Go
could have
ahead.
said all that in
Yeah.
the segment, but you didn't want to. That's all right. Come on, we'll let you make it.
So,
Because we love you. That's why we gonna let you make it.
not
God
only,
acknowledge me being transparent and truthful though.
You
to
did.
why
You
our
were.
feelings get hurt.
But
not only do I love you, I don't disagree with anything that you said, to be honest with you. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Now, where I challenge it a little bit in my final thought is, you know what my experience has been, Lady D? Sometimes that kindness can be mistaken for weakness. I have actually been in most situations where if you get this calm version of me, they ready to walk out the door. Women, and for in case you got so he talking about them bitches that work at Church's Chicken. Let me be clear. I'm talking about women with stable jobs, more shit than I've got. Those are the ones that's actually who I'm talking about. Them nasty, no good bitches who frying chicken with a whole lot of rings on their finger and hair. You know what you're gonna get from them. I'm talking about regular women, teachers, nurses, people got good jobs, good houses, better houses than me. But you know what I've discovered talking with them is that sometimes a good, healthy argument, you know, is what dropped them mustard draws. You know, trying to play it quiet and giving them time to think about it. That's not what they want. See, you have had a certain experience and you got a good husband, it sounds like. But you know what? There's a whole, thank God, too, there's a whole lot more of you bitches out there that's not like her, that truthfully speaking, that will get down for the 10 pounds because inflation, that's $7 or more. And so the truth of the matter is, y'all say all that nonsense on social media. You're looking for a guy. I want her to be understanding. The truth of the matter is, you want to belt around your motherfucking neck, and you want a guy to slam you up against the wall and talk to you like you ain't shit. And that's when you drop them mustard draws. And God bless you all.
we'll be back.
Mama.
This is a test. This is only a test. This has been a test.
You need money on your books messing with me.
Man, y'all got me up past my damn
I'm sorry. Okay, kid, we can move it along. You know, anyway. All right. Thank y'all.
Mama, I'm smiling.
Right. And I don't even know what his final thought was. I don't even get it. So, you know. All right. Listen. If anybody can tell me what his final thought was, please put it in the comments. Maybe I have to go back and rewatch it like the halftime show or something. I don't know what it was. All right, listen. Question. If I ask you to give me some advice on how to stop someone from driving you crazy, what would it be? Y'all know. Yeah.
I mean, don't deal with them. That's the first thing.
All right.
Don't deal with them.
All right. Give me some advice. How can I stop people from driving me crazy?
Leave.
Leave? Okay.
Cuss them out.
All right.
Should have known.
Sounds like a plan. Yep. Well, here it is. If you want to stop people from driving you crazy, this is probably what you should do.
God damn.
Black, not your mama.
Yeah.
Mama, don't mess with my final thought, bro.
You know what? That's the end of the show. That's all.
In 57 years, she ain't never heard her baby boy say something like that. I know. You know what? Forget what I said, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the final thought. Don't never say things your mama ain't never heard you say before. All right. Mama ain't watching no more. All right. But listen, Mama, I promise you. We love you. Thank you so much. Well, ultimately, this is going to trash. So I'll just tell you what you want to do if somebody's driving you crazy, just hit them. All right. Just hit them and knock them out. But Mama, you won it. Thank you so much for our final thought. That's Devin, that's Lee, and that's Kenny. And Lee's mama. We'll talk to you after the show about these lucky draws. Thank you, Mama.